EE World, I'm Senior Technical Editor Martin Rowe. We are here at the North Carolina Museum of Art in Raleigh, and we've got some equipment that we wanted to. Steven Everitt is going to talk to us about this classic SMU, the 2600, and it's, I guess you could call it its new replacement. It's obviously meant for a rack mount, but apparently people are using it in other ways as well. So Steven, why don't you tell us about some of this equipment and some of the modules that go into them, and how your customers are using this equipment?
Yeah, absolutely. So, you know, as you said, this 2600B, this old system source meter, was the cornerstone of automated test for a very long time. It's done very well, but we said to ourselves, this is a little bit too big. It's a little bit, too large of a footprint. Not quite as easy to develop on as a platform, right? So we decided we wanted to move away from standalone instruments and move over to a modular platform. That's why we moved over to this MP5000. In this MP5000, we have power supply modules, source measure unit modules. We're able to take the reliability and precision of this instrument here, and we've been able to put it into this small package, right? So you still get 2 channels of SMU, but in much smaller space.
Now you've also got this power supply module, so tell us what can that do?
Yes. So in the instance that you don't necessarily need the precision of an SMU, we're also offering power supplies, and so this will not only give you higher power, but it'll also give you a little bit of cost savings for when you just need a sourcing channel, right? So this is going to allow us to do some high power tests, particularly at scale. In fact, some of my customers, I was talking to Martin earlier, are even using these on the bench, because they might have 18 power supply channels they need to use, and rather than stacking 6 triple channel power supplies, having just 3 U give them 18 channels is a much better solution for them.
So each of those 3 has 3 2-channel SMUs in it.
Yes. Okay. So 3 2-channel of any module you want, whether it be SMU power supply, and it could be any different power that you want. It's fully mix and match, fully flexible.
Now you've got a wafer over here, so I assume some of these are used for characterizing wafers, characterizing the chips on the wafers.
Absolutely.
And what other things, well, first electronic-wise, and then maybe outside of electronic-wise, that people are using these SMUs for?
Yeah, that's a great question. So, particularly in my territory, I see a lot of customers using these for optical tests. They're doing functional tests on VCSELs. Or other types of optical devices. As you said, silicon wafers are very common. You'll see process control monitoring, wafer level reliability, things like that. And like I said, with customers using just power supplies, for example, they might just be doing an SoC and have 6 or 10 or 18 different rails that they need to power, and they need to make sure that it's clean power. And in particular, with that customer, we have a leakage measurement that needs to be made as well. So they just take one of the power supplies out and slot in an SMU, and the SMU can do the leakage measurement. They don't have to change their mainframe.
Interesting. How about automation? Now, obviously, you've got something here that has no front panel, so you've got to have some software to emulate a front panel. And how does the automation work?
Absolutely. So there are a couple of different levels of automation for this product. So at the very base level, when you first open it up, what most people are first going to do is open it up, put the modules in, and they might go to the web page. So we have an instrument web page. You can go on and you can do basic control. You can set some levels, turn on, turn off channels. You can see system information, things like that. So that's great for troubleshooting. It's great for when you get it first out of the box and you want to make sure that everything's working, right? After that, we move into test scripting and automation. And this is where we have a couple of tools to help customers. Number one, our paradigm for this is called Test Script Processor. We actually have processors on each module that will run test scripts for you. They'll do math, they'll do test script logic, etc. And this is all put together in a program that we call TSP Toolkit, which is our IDE for coding in this TSP language. It's very simple. It's just like SCPI, but it's a little bit more verbose and a little bit more powerful.
What do you have for connectivity on the back there? I assume you've got maybe Ethernet and USB. What else do you have?
Yeah. I don't know if you want to come around, but in the back here we have an 18-pin Digi-O, which is much more than we've had in the past. So 18 pins of digital I/O gives you plenty of connectivity for synchronization. We have 2 TSP-Link connectors, which we use to daisy chain instruments so that they can share data and synchronization lines
So
together.
that person you mentioned who's got 3 of these would probably be using that.
Absolutely, yes.
Okay.
They would be using those TSP-Link lines, and they'd be treating them as an 18-channel power supply, essentially.
Okay.
We also have USB-C, we have Ethernet, and we have an interlock for safety reasons, as some of these modules go above 50 volts, so that you can hook that up to your test fixture and not shock yourself.
Very good. Steven, thank you very much.
Yes, thanks, Martin.